What's up, YouTube? Mr. Ferguson here once again. My goodness, we are back where we were in the month of May several years ago. The last two videos we've been talking about the dryness, the lack of rain, and it just continues. And the lawn is just suffering like I've not seen it do in a very long time. But we're going to start this video off. I'm filming this a day ahead of when I typically film for the Wednesday video. So let me take you over here by the strip by my truck. We're going to do a little test because, well, let's just show you and let's start the test today. We'll come back tomorrow and see what happens. So I'm going to wait till tomorrow to tell you all about, show you everything. But let's just use my strip right here. You can see it's starting to fade in color and it's starting to check out. And if we back up, it's the same over here in this section. So what is the test, Mr. Ferguson? We're gonna do a quick test in this video right here, right now. You can see all of this pretty much looks the same right here on the strip all the way back. Now, the thing is, I've not irrigated this nor this in a while. This has gotten more than this recently, but there is a little bit of green up here towards the top if you really stare. Down here it's a little more white, but it's pretty close. So here's what we're gonna do. You see this line where this wood is all the way over here? I'm gonna stand here. I've got the hose right here. I'm gonna water this northern part all the way up to the mailbox. I was about to do it and I said, no, let's do it for a film. So I'm gonna water this. I'm gonna water it for a good bit standing here. And I just wanted to show you the before. So this is in the afternoon. That's why you got the shadow cast over here on my truck. I'm gonna come back and probably a few hours, obviously tomorrow, and we'll see watering the difference in just adding water to this. Obviously we know adding waters, it should obviously come back. It's gonna look like I fertilized it, right? But I'm gonna hand water this section and we'll come back and we'll kick the video off tomorrow morning with the results of this once we give our spiel. So here's the before. Dry as a bone, desert. It's actually even windy, so it's going to be fun to mow, but let's check it out in the morning. Let's see how it looks after we give it some water this afternoon. Well, it's been about 45 minutes, guys. Clearly, I'll show you this here in a second, but we're watering this section. And we know there's areas right here that it's just been brown. It's poa-triv, dying, browning up, whatever, but we're stressing out a lot in the main section of the front yard, which is rare, but it's happening. So been watering this. We said, again, our test is we're going to water just this section that you see from the side of the house over here forward to the bank. Clearly I need to do the bank again, and we may do that tomorrow. But 45 minutes after watering the strip, I just wanted to come over here and show you. Look at the domination line. I don't know if you can tell, but I can. Right here, you can see the green versus the white without showing you the rest just yet. It is, there's a difference. Just watering, 45 minutes, it's soaking it up. So we just showed you, for you guys, it was just a second ago, you can see, now we got more shadow because of the sun moving, but you can see, hopefully, I stopped right here watering and you can see more white is starting to come back green. If I was to sit here and water this thing like I did that time I went to the beach and come back, and again, you can see all this. This all looks better. This is the one section that looks probably the worst. All of this is looking better. It's coming back. So clearly, what is the point here? Obviously, it's just water that we need. We don't need anything else. And in a second, when I show you the rest of my lawn, look over here. This is even like, I don't know, 5 inches tall, and it's tall fescue, so it's doing fine. But watered this section. This was way stressed out, way more. It's looking a lot better, but when we get up close to it, it is not back. It just looks better. It needs more water. It needs so much friggin' water. And if you got Kentucky bluegrass, oh my goodness, you need double what this fescue needs. We'll wait in the morning and I'll come out here and show you guys the difference in from the last video to this one. Dry, very hot. What's it looking like in my really bad spots and in the main section of our non-irrigated for, I don't know, 5 days now, back lawn. All right, YouTube, again, welcome back. It's the next day. Sorry for the blurriness. Let me get out here. So yesterday evening, you guys saw I watered this section right here. It definitely has come out of the shriveled stress area. The sun has not yet risen and cleared the clouds and the trees. I did come out and hand water the bank a little bit, not a lot. As you can still see, it's stressed out. I'll walk over here for a second. I did, I don't know if I showed you this, but we were a little stressed out by the mailbox. I hand watered this section. Actually, you can see the meter is still wet from where I hand watered, but it's looking good for now. But I can already tell you this section was really white, and that water, I should be watering it now, but I'm not. Just so much money. But this is looking good. But as soon as the sun comes up, if we don't get rain, if it's direct sunlight, it's going to look rough again this afternoon. The front yard is not bad after a little bit. Again, I just watered this, and I hand watered the front. That's it, the bank. And this section got the least actually right here in front of me, because I figured I'd be coming out here right here watering. And I have it, and I may do that after I finish filming this. So we will do some more on the bank. I hit some of that white section on the very end down there, but the bank is going to get hit again today, so it's looking rough. Anyways, but the front yard's not bad. So before I show you the rest, look at the difference. Like, you can see it now without the shadows. Look at the line of where I stopped watering. I watered all this, right? Look how green, like from there, it looks pretty good. When I back up, this is what, if Mr. Ferguson, while I'm editing, will take a snapshot and show it to you, and then show you this, the line. Like I said, it almost looks like I fertilized it or put down iron or something, and all it is bringing it back to life with water. But the difference in watering versus not watering, look at the clear domination line there, right? So water absolutely make a difference. Now, let me turn around and show you the back section about our irrigated section. Here's our domination line, but look at this. This is where we are right now. It is stressed out all over the place. This section's getting, it's white. Look at that. We're not gonna dwell on this, but even when I was watering this, puddles were running out, and you can see that green right there was not green. The puddle that ran out and it got soaked up right here, it made this section green, because you see behind it, it's all stressed out. So it's just so dry, so thirsty. And I can't help but say quickly, throwback to the midweek quickie, this is what our life is like without the Lord. We're so spiritually, this is what our nation is like. We're so thirsty. Jesus said, I am the living water, and he who drinks from me will never thirst again. So if we'll drink from the Lord, we end up more like this. We thrive, we're vibrant, because we have that hydration in the water. But man, we can dry up spiritually when we get away from God's word and prayer. And yeah, we kind of look like this. So there's your throwback midweek quickie. But none of this for any new people. We haven't watered this, and it's not even been a week yet. That's the scary part. It's not even been a week, and we are stressed out in our hot spot right here. Everything just looks toasted. And back in my early days, I'm having some 2020 vibes, because back in my early days, I would think, well, this is dead. I've lost this. I just need to chop it up and replant. Not true. If your grass is looking like this, it is not dead. It may not all come back, but if you are a first time, second time fescue planter or lawn care owner, you want to try to survive summer. Yes, I would be out here watering this. This grass is mature grass, made it through 3 summers or 2 summers at least, and I'm pushing it to its limit, thinking it is going to come back. We are going to find out. Some of this brown though is not fungus. For those that may think that, it's just like poa triv that was hanging on through the quote warmer. It's pushing its limits. Well, this is just way too hot for it, and it's crushing it, and so it's moving out. I have seen Bermuda begin to take advantage and move in some of these areas, so that's one of the things you're going to see. Let me also mention, while we're looking at this disgustingness, which is, I don't know, weirdly I'm kind of enjoying this, not putting my grass through hell or anything like that, because that's kind of what it is. But we don't want to be mowing this. I have no intentions. You need to take your striper off. By far, you need to do that. You don't need to be getting on this thing and mowing it at all. You do not need to be spraying for weeds or putting any kind of herbicide on a lawn that looks like this. Your lawn is struggling like this. To add herbicide to it is just you're probably gonna kill it. We don't need to be fertilizing like this, any amounts. I would be nervous doing any amounts in this condition. Now, if your whole lawn looks like this, that's one thing, because you can see it's not shriveled, it's growing. Like this don't look bad, guys. I mean, look at the comparison. Clearly the dirt over here in this section, none of this has been watered, but this section is looking pretty harsh. The dirt underneath this section is clearly more of an issue than over here in this side of my lawn, where, yeah, it's stressed out. There's spots. It's looking rough. We've got stunted growth. You can really see right here, it's like crop circles. Some of it's growing, some of it is stopped, some of it's starting to turn brown, some of it's not. But back here, you know, the ground is pretty good because the roots are clearly deeper back here. But just to re-emphasize, don't be putting fertilizer. Don't go and say, well, this grass is like 7 inches tall, I need to mow it. And you're running that mower over here and you're putting additional stresses on this. You don't want to do that. This is not dead grass. This will come back. When you get those 2 thunderstorm days in a row, it'll begin to come back. It takes a lot of water. It will take a lot of time, but it will come back. But yes, we are looking, I mean, rough, but I'm sticking to the plan, guys. I'm not watering it until we get to where it looks like it's starting to get like dead looking. And then we'll see. Again, I'm overseeding in the fall, so I'm not particularly too, you know, nervous about it. If I wasn't overseeding, yes, I'd be watering already. So the middle part, again, you can see looks pretty good. Back there along the trees, that is still a mix of GCI plus the Jonathan Green Dense Shade mix. It's looking pretty good. And even up here, I've seen this stress out over periods of time, and it's not, and I don't know why. It looks pretty good. We haven't done anything water-wise on the patio here, so it's just doing all right. Maybe because it grew taller, I don't know. Over here, we did the Shady Nooks. If you guys recall, some of this is the Shady Nooks, the GCI Turf Type Tall Fescue, Spreader Elite. But anyways, but just to kind of wrap up showing you this, yeah, we got spots over here, and along the edge of where the trees were, it's starting to whiten up, and we've got brown spots, but it's not absolutely like my whole lawn's dead. So I did want to mention those things. Though we're doing this side is non-irrigated, we're not putting any water on it, it's all going to be natural, but just to show you how ugly it can look. It's protecting itself, but we don't want to add to stress. Doing something crazy like putting Ordamic down would definitely kill your grass. Putting down speed zones, spraying for weeds. I'm not doing anything. I'm staying off of it. I don't even want to be walking in it. I'm definitely not going to run my mower in it. And I'm not going to be cutting the long versus the short. I'm just leaving it alone. Stay off the turf, as Pete says. Again, pointing out, we just need water. It's all water. Water is the magic ingredient. So we're looking rough. But just to show you all the areas where you're pumping the correct amount of water, we could be looking totally fine if we want to. And it comes back to money. It comes back to your current situation. I hand watered this last night, haven't done anything to it this morning, and you see the difference, the transition there. This right here looked exactly like this yesterday afternoon, and now it doesn't. It's already started to come back, and if I continue to pump water into it, it would transform even more to look like over here. On the far right side of my front lawn, it looks, I was looking at it yesterday, I'm like, I'm impressed. Now, we've done a lot of transplanting. If you guys remember previous videos on my channel, we transplanted grass when we moved the Jap maple forward. We transplanted big clumps of grass. I planted, remember the big hole right here on the bank? It's doing great. Speaking of which, that's the new GCI Turf Type Tall Fescue blend. But you can see right here, this is a little bit darker. It's not totally mature, but this is that new grass. It's doing totally fine where it's at, and I wouldn't have guessed that. We planted it in early spring, I think, late fall. We got a weed up here, but that's fine. He can chill. He's not bothering me. But yeah, it's doing fine. It's a little bit, I noticed it yesterday, it's a little bit darker blend than the grass beside it, whether that's triple threat, the old GCI, the new GCI blend looks more turf type. It's skinny, but it's thick there and it looks great. One last request, and let me walk back here. Somebody had asked about the potted fescue. We showed you the roots on that thing. We stuck it in the ground, and with all the non-water, no irrigation going on, somebody said, hey, how's that potted grass doing? The last thing we did down here was my daughter went to the beach and we took some seaweed and just threw it on top of the ground. But here's the potted fescue. It's doing great. This is the new GCI blend. The same thing we just showed you on the bank. We are in full shade here just to go up. I'm going straight up. You can see it barely gets any sun, if any. Maybe in some parts of the morning through here, it might shine down here, but it's not getting a lot of sun and it's looking fantastic. Here's some of that seaweed that's clearly dried up. I don't know if it's helped or hurt. Clearly it hasn't killed it or anything. Somebody said, don't that have seawater in it? It's gonna kill it. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with this fescue. It looks great. If anything, it needs to be kind of chopped a little bit, but it looks like some of the best fescue in my lawn. It's not stressed out a lot. Now, maybe the shade is helping to protect it clearly because it's not getting a lot of water. But right now, it's doing absolutely fine. So that's encouraging for the new GCI blend. And again, it's a spreading fescue. Will this spread? Don't know. We'll find out. But so far, yeah, it's kicking, it's alive, it's looking good. God bless you. We'll see you, hopefully, with some rain next time on the next video. God bless.